You are about to witness a true South African crime story. Only the names of witnesses have been changed for individuals who were directly involved in the crime or in the solving of the crime. To be described as murder, a killing must be premeditated and deliberate, and the intention of the killer must be proved to have existed prior to the crime.
It was the early hours of Sunday, the 8th of October 1995, when a passerby called the Stanger police station after seeing a body lying next to the bakkie.
Inspector Mgleche, accompanied by other policemen, Stanger Manor. Inspector Rian Monroe was the crime scene analyst and photographer.
It would appear that he was attacked a couple of paces behind the vehicle, and then in an attempt to escape, he ran towards the bakkie and he collapsed next to his vehicle. I also found a pair of sandals next to him and a car keys.
There was also evidence of an attempted break-in.
On further investigation, I noticed that there was a window that was in fact broken. And also a burglar guard that was sawn through.
The particular window chosen by the perpetrators seemed perplexing to the police.
The glass pieces were stacked, other than being scattered.
That was the only window that had burglar guards on. By further inspection, I realized that the window was one side and it was dark in the area, and it could have been the reason why the burglars chose that way.
But there was something else regarding the chosen window that was strange.
Because of the type of bars, the thieves had to bend the bars inwards to gain entry into the house. There was a big carton box right next to the window. Inside the box there was a fridge, a brand new fridge, and that was in the way of the burglar guards as it had to be bent inwards.
The broken window also had a sensory device used to trigger an alarm system.
I noticed that the alarm system had been disconnected very carefully. At that stage I thought to myself, burglars, they wouldn't have taken such care in disconnecting it, but just break it.
Inspector Monroe was immediately of the opinion that the attempted break-in was not conducted by professionals. Superintendent Krubinathan Naidu then arrived at the crime scene. He shared the misgivings expressed by the other policemen.
Okay, it basically looked very odd to me. The intended burglars didn't complete the purpose of their visit. The manner in which the window was stacked, they didn't gain entry to the premises, and the vehicle was lying there, the keys were available, they didn't take the vehicle away.
At that stage, we did not know who the deceased was. A neighbor approached us and informed us that the deceased was a Mr. Balaram Lakan, and he was an employee of the house owner, Mr. Dasi Naidu.
Balaram Lukan was a 39-year-old man who was employed by the owner of the house as a driver at his hardware business.
In the morning, whilst at the scene, we conducted inquiries from the neighborhood, seeing that the house was locked, and it was established that the owner, together with his family, went to spend the weekend at the Wild Coast Sun.
Mr. Rama Naidu, the owner, arrived at the house at approximately 2 o'clock that afternoon.
When Mr. arrived at the house, I managed to gain access to the house. At that stage, I went to the window where this alleged break-in happened. I also noticed that on the box next to the window, there was marks that was consistent with something that has been hit on that box. I did come to the conclusion that it could have been from a saw that was used to saw the burglar guards.
Although there was some Mr. Balaram Lukan was the innocent victim who had unsuspectingly interrupted the crime.
The deceased, Mr. Balaram, was a very simple person. He was unmarried, come from a very poor background. He had a very old mother, very sickly, and if he had a deformed brother, mentally retarded. And the living conditions were pathetic. They lived in a one-room tin house, which basically furniture with nothing on the floor itself. Mr. Balram, he deceased, worked for Mr.